ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, chapter number 3 and text number 29. Jihva na vaktim bhagavat guna nama dheyam chetah cha na smarati tat चरणारविंदम नो यत नमति यत शिरः एकदापि तान अनयाध्वम असत अकृत विष्णुकृत्यान जिह्वान व्यक्तिं भगवद्गुणान् मधेयम् चेतश्च न स्मरति चरणारविन्दम् कृष्णाय नो नमति यच्छिरस्ति कदापि तानानयध्वमसतो अकृत विष्णुकृत्यान् जीवान भक्ति भगवद्गुणान् अधेयम् चेतश्च न स्मरति तच्चरणारविन्दम् कृष्णाय नो नमति यच्छिर एकदापि तानानयध्वमसतो अकृत विष्णुकृत्यान् जीवान व्यक्तिं भगवद्गुणानामधेयम् चेतश्च न स्मरति तच्चरणारविन्दम् कृष्णाय नो नमति यच्छिर एकदापि तानानयध्वमसतो अकृत विष्णुकृत्यान् Mothers, Jiva, the tongue. Na, not. Vakti, chants. Bhagavat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Guna, transcendental qualities. Nama, and the holy name. Deyam, imparting. Chetaha, the heart. Cha, also. Na, not. Smarati, remembers. Tat, his. Charanarvindam, lotus feet. Krishnaya, unto Lord Krishna, through his deity in the temple. No, not. Namati, bows. Yat, whose. Shiraha, head. Ekadapi, even once. Tan, them. Anayadvam, bring before me. Asat, the non-devotees. Akrit, not performing. Vishnu Krityan, duties towards Lord Vishnu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My dear servants, please bring me only those sinful persons who do not use their tongue to chant the holy name and qualities of Krishna, whose hearts do not remember the lotus feet of Krishna even once, and whose heads do not bow down even once before Lord Krishna. Send me those who do not perform their duties towards Vishnu, which are the only duties in human life. Please bring me all such fools and rascals. The word Vishnu Krityan is very important in this verse because the purpose of human life is to please Lord Vishnu. Varnashram dharma is also meant for that purpose. As stated in Vishnu Puran, 3rd chapter, 8th chapter, 9th verse, Varnashrama charavata purushena parapraman Vishnu aradyate pantha nanyat tatto shakaranam. Human society is meant to follow strictly Varnashram dharma, which divides society into 4 social divisions, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra, and 4 spiritual divisions, Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. Varnashram dharma easily brings one near to Lord Vishnu, who is the only true objective in human society. Nate vidhu swartha gatim hi Vishnum. Unfortunately, however, people do not know that their self-interest is to return home back to Godhead or to approach Lord Vishnu. Durashayaya bahirarthamanina. Instead, they are simply bewildered. Every human being is expected to perform duties meant for approaching Lord Vishnu. Therefore, Yamaraj advises the Yamadutas to bring him those persons who have forgotten their duties towards Vishnu. Akrita Vishnu Krityan. One who does not chant the holy name of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, who does not bow down to the deity of Lord Vishnu, and who does not remember the lotus feet of Vishnu is punishable by Yamaraj. In summary, all the Avaishnavas, persons unconcerned with Lord Vishnu, are punishable by Yamaraj. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshul Militanjena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantigam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jata Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavauscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि श्रीहरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जिह्वा न वक्ति भगवद्गुणा नामधेयं चेतश्च न स्मरति चरणारविंदम। कृष्णाय नो नमति यच्छीर एकदापि तानाम अद्वयम असतो अकृत विष्णुकृत्यान। Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing akrita viష్णुकृत्यान. It is the ultimate functionality of the human form of life. If it is ultimate, then why not in the beginning? People forget. In the beginning, they do not know that they are meant for serving Lord Vishnu. It is reminded in every 4 ashramas, right from the very beginning. Brahmachari Guru Kule Vasandantam Guru Hitam. And Guru is Tadvijnanartham Gurum Eva Gachet Sameta Pani Bihi Srutriyam Brahmanishtam. In the very beginning, a brahmachari who is a student, he has to learn that he has to live for the sake of Guru, not for anybody else, not for his own sake either. That's how the Gurukul starts. In Kali Yuga is other way around. A teacher can abuse the children for his sense gratification. The teachers are lurking on students as if they are their object of sense gratification. No. Kali Yuga will make everything topsy-turvy. That doesn't mean the truth becomes obscure, unavailable. The system is being re-established by a pure devotee and to make us understand that the functionality and the education for that proper functionality must begin right from the early age. What is Prahlad, that 5-year-old kid, is teaching? What did he say? Kaumaram macharit pragya dharaman bhagavatam sudurlabham idam manusham deham tadruvam api arthadam. Arthadam in Hindi इसके अर्थ में दम है, तो अर्थ दम बोला था. दम यानी ताकत. The strength is lying in the purpose of the education. Adruvam, which is very unshakable. You cannot move this purpose. The purpose of human life is to serve Lord Vishnu. Why? Because everything he created, everything is sustained by him, everything is destroyed by him. Meanwhile, we are given a chance or affording to serve him. And we want to serve ourselves, our own notions, our own thinking, which has no relationship with the original teaching. We have forgotten. But forgetfulness is not is an excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. One has to be properly educated and come to the point of, real meaning of life. So, that is the story of brahmacharya. In Grahastha life, Narad Muni explains to Yudhishthira Maharaj about the functionality of ideal householder life. That he must be dedicated to Lord Vishnu. His life is meant to please him. Atha pambi dvijasreshta varnashama vibhagasha svanutishthasya dharmasya sansiddhim haritoshanam. Bhagavan, for his satisfaction, our life is supposed to be meant. Then Vanaprastha, he has to retire, disentangle himself from whatever activities he has been doing, not in favor of Krishna. Give up now and take up the process. Dhritarashtra was so blind that he not only forgot, but he was purposely not doing, because he became completely spiritually blind also, simply by the attachment of Duryodhana and others, just to usurp the kingdom which did not belong to them in first place. Only Vidur woke him up. My dear elder brother, aren't you ashamed that even after the Holocaust, the destruction of the entire population, all the sons have been killed, and you are living at the house of an enemy that you believed in the first, just for the sake of 2 rotis? Aren't you ashamed? You are living like a dog. And these were heavy words, but that knocked the ignorance out of Dhritarashtra's head. And he and Gandhari both left without telling Yudhishthira Maharaj, left the home, the big palace, went into jungle to do the tapascharya. Vishnu Krityan was left till then. And those who are sannyasis, the 4th order, they are committed to serve Lord Vishnu by mind, words and activities. They have no other thought to serve somebody else than Lord Vishnu or his representative. But doing so, they fulfill the perfect service to all the humanity. That's why the brahmachari may be properly educated for himself, so he can lead proper life in grahasthashram, so he can timely retire for the sake of Vishnu Krityan and at last go and travel and preach. So, in not a single ashram there is a liberty of not performing any activity for the sake of Lord Vishnu. Everything, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer as a homage, whatever you give in charity or whatever you do the austerity for Arjun, offer it to me. That is Vishnu Krityan. The activities are meant to please Lord Krishna, not to please yourself. As long as we continue the activity to please ourselves, it may not be approved by Lord Krishna. You may not be able to satisfy nobody, including yourself. You may have a temporary satisfaction, but because it is not lasting long, you will regret. There is no satisfaction. So much so, such Vishnu Krityan remained obscured even in the life of Vyasadeva, who wrote the Vedas. From one Veda, he was so much engrossed in analyzing all the substances, explanation of Brahman, but it was not coming into pure devotional service, because he was writing all this literature, all the Puranas, keeping in mind with the effect of the three modes of material nature, that is mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, and he kept on dividing and analyzing the matter, what is suitable for this, what is suitable for that type of people, like that. And ultimately, all he got at the end, after creating 17 Puranas, nothing but frustration. Nothing but frustration. He may be honored in the society, this, that, but he was unable to resolve any satisfaction for Lord Vishnu. Therefore, Narad Muni came as his guru and knocked up the real essence and brought it forward. You have done so much for the benefit of mankind, but it is not Vishnu Krityan. You have to write literature that describes the Nama Rupa Guna Leela, which are beyond the effect of the three modes of material nature. Create such a literature and offer it to Krishna for his pleasure. That will satisfy. So, Prabhupada is quoting Prahlad Maharaj's teachings also, that Nate viduhu swartha gatim hi Vishnu durashayaye bahirartha manina andha yatha andhai upaniyamana te pishatantraya urudamni badhya. Because in the first place, you do not know what is your ultimate aim of life, which is called Vishnu Gati. Progress towards Vishnu. So therefore, you are proven that you are a Durashaya. You are a hopeless person. Nothing can be hoped from you. Durashaya. And therefore, you are always absorbed in externalities, external application, external manifestation which is separate from Lord Krishna, that is the material world, and all your activities are geared towards satisfying the senses. The senses may be able to appreciate the external creation, sustenance and destruction, but they are supposed to be knowledge-acquiring senses. And knowledge comes by performing pure devotional service. That is Vishnu Krishna. People do not try to please Lord Vishnu. They try to please themselves. They want to please their family. They want to please the society. They want to please their nation. But no Vishnu. Why? Because he is too distant. But he is the closest, sitting in our heart in the form of Paramatma. If we are properly educated, then our life becomes so easy, because we are approaching the closest existence of the Lord in our own heart. Instead, we are bahirarthamaninas. We are externally disposed. We want to work beyond our capacity, beyond our thinking. normal thing. So, even up to becoming a scientist to explore the firmament out in the sky and faraway planetary system, it is still Bahirarthamanina. Andha yatha andhaihi upaniyaman. Because people are blinded by this real knowledge, it is not there. So they are exactly like blind, and they want to lead other blinds. Where are they going to go? In the ditch. A blind leads another blind into the pit. So, if this is the situation, then how to obtain this intelligence to be situated or geared on Lord Krishna? Matim na Krishne swatah parato va mithobi padyet grahabhritana. This intelligence to repose on Lord Krishna's lotus feet is not going to arise till one is a sense gratifier. Whether he wants to resolve that problem with his own intelligence, he will fail, or with the help of somebody else, so-called guru, no, he will not be. Mithobipadyet, even if he takes in a big society of similar thinking, they will not be able to resolve this problem. Swataha, parataha, or mithabhya. These three situations are there. You can't help yourself on your own, neither with the help of a friend or somebody who is little bit knowledgeable, he cannot resolve. And if you make, Prabhupada said, make a United Nations, they are not able to resolve any problem. Actually, they are confronting more and more problems. In the this century, there was an international conference of religions in New York at United Nations. It is very intelligently cowed by the Christians because they are confronting so many things. And in the month of January in 2001, Pope Paul came here in Delhi. He announced that in the first millennium we conquered the South America, North America. In the second century, we conquered Africa and some part of Europe, and now we are going to reap the harvest in Southeast Asia. They are doing the harvest of conversion. They call it harvest. They think we are all crops. No. Because of lack of education, proper education, people may change their faith. So belief system is not that. And Christianity does not give guarantee for nothing, because it is not a verifiable religion either. Here, Vishnu Krityam is going to make you verified. The faith has to be verifiable only when it becomes Nishtha. Unless and until there is no verification. So, what is the step before Nishtha that we have to conquer? Anartha Nivrutti. Eradicating unwanted things in our lives. We can survive without that, but survive in our purity. Anartha makes us impure. It becomes contradictory to the principles of sense control. All the activities of sense gratifying are anarthas, and all the senses need to be gratified. It doesn't mean that senses are not supposed to be used in their original functionality. That still remains. But people get disenchanted. Oh, you are devotees, you have given up everything. So what do you do for fun? What do you do for fun? He knows best. Chant, dance, and take prasadam. That is the fun. The ultimate fun. Right? So, matim na krishne swatah parato va mithobi patyet grahavratana. As long as we continue to gratify our senses, it foils the purpose. That the mati means the intelligence of Lord Krishna cannot be reposed. The adant gobi vishatam tamishram punah punascharvitam charvananam. Because our senses are loose, unbridled, uncontrollable. Therefore, they become habituated to chew the chewed which has no juice in it. Keep on chewing like, what is that? Wrigley's bubble gum? People keep on chewing. They think they're cleaning their mouth and keeping it mouths. So no bad odor is coming through. Chewing the chewed which has no juice. So therefore, the third instruction of Prahlad Maharaj comes in. Naisha matim tavat urukramangri. That necessary intelligence will not be generated. For whom? Urukrama, whose steps are gigantic. He is Trivikrama, he is Vamanadev, means he is Lord Vishnu. Naisha matim tavat urukramangri. Sprashyati anartho pashamamam yadartham. For the purpose of eradicating our unwanted activities, what you call anarthas, if they are not cleared, why they have to be cleared? Because they are interfering in establishing the intelligence to surrender to Krishna. How one can become fortunate in such a situation? Mahiyasam yadi pada rajobhishekam. The great devotees, if they do not show their mercy on such ignorant fools, and people who are not inclined even to take the dust of their lotus feet, there is no fortune. Nishkinchananam na vrinita javat. These devotees, they are so merciful because they are nishkinchan. They do not have material possession. They do not depend upon material situation to bestow the mercy. Somebody may question, Maharaj, you travel all the time, you need money. It's a material thing. But money is Lakshmi, that is spiritual thing. She should serve Lord Krishna. So, money is not serving me. If I am serving to Krishna, how come it becomes material? So somehow or another, we have to keep connection intact. Service to Krishna is Vishnu Krityam. One that does not serve Vishnu, there is no satisfaction, even in the heart. So, the very first verse after the Vedanta Sutra explained in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Savai punsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatmasu prasidati. The best occupation for all humanity is to worship the transcendental Lord. However, such service should be unmotivated and uninterrupted, by which the self will be satisfied. The Supreme Self, if it is satisfied, the lower self, that is us, can also be satisfied. There is a harmony. Otherwise, there is no harmony. So therefore, acts of Vishnu Krityam are pure devotional service, and they have to be performed for the pleasure of the Lord. Again, if we have an inclination to get our own pleasure by performing these services, and we become the center of the pleasure, there is also any trouble. Even though we are almost on the right platform, but this individually, existence is like on a threshold. One can immediately thrown back into the material world instead of entering into the spiritual world. If we look for, I joined Hare Krishna because I am pleasure-seeking. But Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure, and that reservoir is for his own pleasure. So our attitude should always remain that even though we may be pleasure-seeking, but our pleasure will depend upon pleasure of Lord Krishna. Not otherwise, not taken to be granted. So therefore, how do we realize that Krishna is pleased of our activities of devotional service, Vishnu Krityam? How do we realize that Krishna is pleased? Upon whom we have to depend? Upon the pleasure of the Lord. For the pleasure of the Lord, we should depend upon whom?
Spiritual master.
Yes, Srila Prabhupada, and one who serves Srila Prabhupada, means the spiritual master, not material master, spiritual master. He has no other business. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado yasya prasadan nagati kutopi. So, the conclusion is that we are meant for performing Vishnu Krityam and not what we think that I want to become this, I want to become that. We have been given chance in the human form of life to think that, human form of life is meant for exploiting the resources of material nature. But that we have done in 8.4 million species of life altogether. Always we have been doing. But in the human form of life, if we are able to understand the importance of Vishnu Krityam, then that is the culmination, perfection of all the lives. And It paves the way to come back to Godhead and not in a repeated cycle of birth and death, of sansara. So, the potency is in the service to the Lord Vishnu. Potency is in chanting of the holy name. Potency is in bowing down or surrendering to Him and His instructions. So, we are supposed to yad karoshi, yad ashnashi, yad juhoshi, dadashi, yat tapasyasi kaunte, tat kurushva madarpanam. It is the act of Vishnu Krityan, and that is the perfection. There is nothing to be left undone. Yayatma suprasidati means if the self is satisfied, means that satisfaction is the derivative satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are so tiny. Do we have to work so hard to satisfy this tiny? Rather, spend your entire life to satisfy the Supreme, so the tiny will also be satisfied automatically. So therefore, it is not a fanatic demand, but rather out of love. A fanaticism differs here. They are not doing Vishnu Kritya when they kill and destroy the lives. Actually, that is a demoniac nature which is overpowered by mode of ignorance to act in such a way to create nothing but fear. Fear is the product of ignorance, and such activities are also product of ignorance. Ignorance is not going to create the reality. That is called fanaticism. And those who are fanatics, they miss the point. They are not religionists. But people learn hard way. Now the West is recognizing and they are fighting against the terrorism of ISIS and so many other Al-Qaedas and this and that, declaring that it is not Islam. So they are being isolated by the mainstream Islam and pushing them away. So everybody will be against them. Now they are understanding after such terror, that some intelligent people are thinking, let's consider this way. These are the acts of ignorance, it cannot be religion. The activities of a religion means Vishnu Krityan should be only meant for pleasure of the Lord Vishnu. Pleasure of the Lord. The Lord has a ghastly feature as death, that's okay. But the Holocaust, no Pandavas are becoming responsible for the Holocaust because the Lord was guiding them for the eternality of the spiritual soul, and service to Him was the best, not to service to anybody. So that knowledge was given. But Yudhishthira at the end of the war still was very morose, and he was taking all the blame upon himself, because the blame has to be given on the representative of the Lord. You did it. Krishna, you did it, but Yudhishthira, you know Krishna, and for his sake you did it, means you are to be blamed. It is anticipated that the blame has been taken by the representative of the Lord. And Yudhishthira was very sensitive. Very sensitive. He was lamenting. But he never forgot that he is doing for pleasure of the Lord, because he knew what the Lord wants. Arjuna was taught what the Lord wants by the instructions of Lord Krishna. But Yudhishthira never received such instruction, because he was keeping his consciousness surrendered to Lord Krishna, and whatever situation, external situation he will have to face is sent by Krishna, and therefore he never forgot Krishna for a moment. Even in the gambling match of the dice, he never knew how to play, yet he accepted the challenges of Kaurava. And Arjuna and Bhima came to him and they started quarreling with him. Brother, do you know what have you done? First of all, you do not know how to play the match. These people are going to put us into trouble again. They have a dubious plan. And they spoke so much in disfavor of this acceptance of the gambling match. They virtually wanted that, brother, because your acceptance is going to give us another experience of doom, we'll be destroyed. But Yudhishthira replied very calmly. He said, how come you forget that you have been born of divinity and you are supposed to serve the divine Krishna? Do you think he is ignorant about all this situation? External emergencies should not deviate us from thinking of the shelter of Lord Krishna. He has helped us so far, made us so much, indebted. So how can you ever forget him? That we also have to depend upon him in the gambling match. Yudhishthira means one has to keep the intelligence reposed on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, even in the controversies, even in the midst of quarrel, even in the midst of dissension, hypocrisy, politics. These are all factors that are characters lurching in Kali Yuga. We have to keep our attention on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and try to serve him in each and every aspect. That is called Vishnu Krityan. Vishnu Krityan, the word is very significant, Prabhupada says, because it shows the aim of life. Without that, there is no aim of life. So thank you very much. Anybody has any question? No question. Yes. And get the mic.
Thank you, Maharaj. Paramesh from the translation. It says from the translation.
Can you?
In the translation, we are seeing that Yamaraj is making a segregation. And we have this empirical experience that there's a big family. The world is a big family. And now Yamaraj is making a segregation. And those who chant Krishna's name is pastime. They should be, above. So how do you understand this treatise?
Can anybody rephrase, paraphrase? Otherwise you will have to speak again because the bells were interfering.
My question is on the translation.
Translation?
Yeah.
Why? It's not good?
I'm asking, Yamaraj is making a segregation. And we have in our empirical experience that the world is a big family. So he's saying that those who recite Krishna's name, his pastime, should be avoided. How do we understand these principles?
He is very selective because he is a pure devotee. He is a Mahajan. Out of 12, he is one of them. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Pralada Janaka Bhishma Bali Vayasiki Vayam. He is telling himself, Vayam means me. Yamaraj himself. So, what does the big family has to do with it? Why we have been born? Because we came here to fulfill our desires, right? But the fulfillment of desire cannot be possible, however you may try, because you are tiny and you are subjugated by the effects of the three modes of material nature. You have to act like a puppet in the hand of material nature. So, how this material nature is imposing you to keep forgetting about Krishna. Yamaraj is not forgetting, therefore he is Mahajan. So, he wants to punish by the law of karma only to those people who are forgetting Krishna. So therefore, he is guiding his, not messengers, but the servants, Yamadutas, to bring only those people. He is giving a very distinct difference between whom to bring and whom not to. So, the idea is that the order that he is giving to the Yamadutas, do not bring me devotees, bring me only non-devotees. Because one who has chanted even once mistakenly the holy name of the Lord will have, if not immediate, but a reserved effect that he will be liberated. Yamaraj does not give liberation. But because he has taken shelter of Lord Krishna, chanting the holy name is Vishnu Krityan. That is service. To take the name of the Lord is also Vishnu Krityan. But you have to keep on taking. If you depend upon only the holy name, chant like Haridas Thakur. But otherwise, follow Srila Prabhupada's instruction very faithfully, because you can't imitate Haridas Thakur. Srila Prabhupada gave the entire formula is called Vishnu Krityan. These are the acts of devotional service to Lord Vishnu, and that must be performed. Why do you refrain from breaking the 4 regulative principles? Because they are pleasing to Lord Krishna. That's why.